Hey all, Jamie here from Nova Help Desk. Thanks for joining me today to learn more about Nova and get more familiar with it and comfortable with the platform itself. Today we are specifically going to be talking about the new, as of 2025, three-year plan as it exists in Nova. As a little preface to this, I will be using Barstow Area Consortium for Adult Education for this tutorial video. All of the information you see inputted will be all dummy data. We are in a safe sandbox environment, so if you are from Barstow Area Consortium for Adult Education, don't worry. This is all just dummy data that we're messing around with and using as an instructional video to help people get more familiar with this flow and this narrative that this three-year plan tells. So we go into the consortium page here. The assumption with the three-year plan is that the CFAD will be completed when you submit it, but one of the nice options that you have available to you at the moment is that the CFAD and the three-year plan can be completed in parallel. The thing to understand about that is that the three-year plan will not be able to be submitted until the CFAD is completed. So we're going to hop into the three-year plan. And you will notice that I have a lot of it filled out, so you weren't sitting here watching me fill in a lot of these fields. Like I said, it's dummy data. So you hop in here, you will see all of these tabs incomplete for the most part. This first tab, details, is marked as incomplete. I will recommend that people read the guidance text. It's much improved over years past, so it helps you kind of understand what is specifically being asked, and providing some clarity to what these specific tabs are looking for. So we can see that we have one error on this page. If you go down here, you can see that this is a required field as designated by this red asterisk. So you can either go through there and find what you need to fill out that way, or my favorite way to do it is you come up here, you see one error, you click on show, you go down there, and you can see this outline in the red box. So we are going to fill out this. We have entered our required data for the details tab, and we can move on to the assessment tab. We hop down here. This is probably the longest tab to fill out for the three-year plan. And you can just mark down here. You can see that this is already filled out. These checkboxes are very actionable things, kind of good information to have. This right here, this other, if you click onto it, you will see that you're prompted with something else here. And this is now a required field. So this is now an incomplete tab because we have not specified what the other we're talking about. If we do that, we'll identify it there. So we'll fill in some dummy data like that. You can also have the option to unclick these, and they are multi-select. So you can select all that are relevant or just one, if that's all that applies. Same thing here. Come down here, further context. This is a required field as shown by that. If this was deleted, you would come over here, required field. Now this is an incomplete tab. Up here we have one error because this is no longer filled out. You come down here, add regional alignment and priorities. If you add a partner organization, this is what the modal will look like. This will help populate as you type things in, so you can add whatever partner organizations you're looking for. I've already added Barstow Junior High just to fill out this required field, but you can add as many as you want, as many as you need, and you have the option to delete here. Again, you can select all that apply here. Other, again, you have to specify other. It's a required field now. Same thing, select all that apply here. If you don't select anything, it's an error. It's an incomplete form at the moment, so you have to select at least one option. You have to fill out the required fields here. Scroll down. A lot of these are very actionable and important information, so it's good information to capture on our end. You will notice that there are further context fields like this that are considered optional, so you don't actually have to enter anything here, but sometimes it's good to provide other people that are reading this within the consortium some information, or you if you're going to come back and read some stuff in the future. Again, select all that apply. Select all that apply. These are all of these member representatives, number of participants in the program area. These are all required fields. So when you first load up this tab, you'll notice that there's a lot of errors up here. It's because there are a lot of required fields right in here. But once you get all the appropriate numbers inputted, you'll notice that go down. Another optional one, so that's not required. We don't have to fill that out. Now we're on to the next tab. We're going to the metrics. Hopping into the metrics. Again, this is a more verbose and clear guidance text this year. It helps you understand what you're looking at. Come down here and you can select whatever metrics you're interested in that apply to you. This is multi-select too, so you can select more than one under a specific category. Delete one as well. And if we go to the bottom, you can see here these are our level metric targets. I just entered some dummy data from years past. These are required fields inputted for each year in this 3-year plan. Same thing down here. Continuing on, these are all required fields for the different members within the consortium. Come down here and we have the member spending targets and how they decrease over the years. These are all required fields as well. Now we're on to the objectives tab. More guidance text. It's much improved, and then also the helper text is we've tried to optimize that as well. The Nova team has worked long and hard to kind of provide as clear and concise information as is relevant for these specific input fields, so that you know what you're looking at. This other here, if you check this is now required. Objective number 3, improve effectiveness of services. These are 3 very high level kind of objectives that apply to adult ed across the board, so they are present on the 3-year plan. Come over here. And you do have the option to select the tab itself or go down and select the next option. Either one will work just fine. Here we are at our activities, and whatever these activities are, whatever it'll be, you come down here, kind of go in here, you can read these good descriptions here. These bullet points help you out, kind of apply to help you understand what you're going to be inputting there. And then here you have the short-term, intermediate, and long-term outcomes of what you're hoping to achieve within 12 months, 1 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years. These are all required fields. And this drop down here, one thing that's helpful to understand is that there are 2 options always available in this drop down here: the adult education metrics and student barriers drop down. These ones are always present. These 2 options are added to the drop down from the metrics we selected here. So if we go back to the metrics page, you can see that the student barriers, we have displaced homemaker option selected, and then in the progress, we have completed educational functioning level gain. And so if we come back to activities, you come down here, those are present here because of what we selected there. Come down here, you select responsible positions. You can add more. That's what this input form looks like. Or you can go in and edit one that already exists. I added this one previously. So if you had the typo like that, you can come in, edit it, and save it again, or delete it if you prefer. And again, 3 different objectives, very high level. You come down here, come over to here to the funds evaluation. A lot of this will already be filled out for you, and then there's one input here. Something has to be entered here, and then we can go on to the preview and submit. Again, just read through this. Make sure everything looks good, everything is as expected, and it's what you're looking at. Verify your numbers that you input are accurate. And if everything looks good and you're happy with where you're at, and if at this point you had completed your CFAD and it was submitted and certified, then you would have the option to submit. Since that has not happened at this point, since the CFAD is only in draft in this environment, the submit button is not available. But we do have the ability to complete the 3-year plan in parallel with the CFAD. But until that CFAD is submitted, we do not have the option to submit here. And that is it. That is the 3-year plan in Nova. new as of 2025. This is kind of the flow of things. It's just, we try to make it intuitive. You go through it, you complete the narrative. Recommend reading the helper text. But if you're filling this out and you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at the Nova Help Desk by clicking on the widget in the bottom right hand side of Nova. Thank you for joining us today.